Have you ever stopped to wonder if there's a right way to connect with God? I mean, is it just about having a certain feeling, or is there an actual structure to it, a path that was designed for us? Well, today we are going to explore the unshakable foundation that God Himself laid for us to be able to approach Him.
Our whole journey today really kicks off with this fascinating, almost mysterious verse from the book of Hebrews. It talks about figures of heavenly things, suggesting that the entire ancient system of worship was really just a shadow, a copy, pointing towards something so much greater. And that one idea, it's the key that's going to unlock everything for us.
So let's think about it like this. Worship is like a stairway that leads straight to God. But here's the thing, you can't just start climbing. Before you can even think about taking that first step, you need a stable, secure platform to stand on. That platform is the foundation that makes the whole journey possible. And we're about to break down exactly what it's made of.
All right, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll look at the need for a foundation. Then, we'll dig into the three essential pillars that hold it up: the covenant, the sacred place, and the mediator. After that, we'll see how they all lock together to form one solid platform, opening up a brand new way for us to finally climb that stairway to God.
You see, God's desire to be with us isn't just some vague, fuzzy feeling. It's a structured, intentional plan. The Old Testament way of doing things wasn't a failed experiment that got scrapped. Not at all. It was the perfect blueprint, a shadow designed from the very beginning to be fulfilled, to be filled up with glory and made eternal by Christ.
So let's get to our first pillar, and this is absolutely crucial. Worship doesn't start with something you do. It starts with a relationship. Before anyone could even dream of approaching God, they first had to belong to Him. And that sense of belonging, it was defined by a covenant, a sacred, binding agreement.
In the old system, that's the shadow you see on the left, the covenant made at Mount Sinai established the nation of Israel as God's people. Access was basically defined by your passport, by your national identity. But look at the reality on the right. In Christ, a new covenant is established. This one isn't for just one nation, it's a new, eternal relationship that's open to absolutely everyone, making us His people through Him.
And this isn't some idea that theologians came up with centuries later. No, these are Jesus's own words. He kicked off this new relationship, and it was sealed not with the blood of animals, but with His own. Our ability to worship today rests completely on the foundation He secured for us.
Okay, so once the relationship is established, you need a place to meet. That brings us to our second pillar. But there's a huge problem. How can sinful people possibly meet with a perfectly holy God? The issue is that human sin constantly contaminates any space it enters.
On the left, you can see the big limitation of the old system. The tabernacle, this physical place, was purified by very specific sacrifices, but they only covered unintentional sins. If you committed a major willful sin, there was no ritual fix for it. But in Christ, the reality on the right, He becomes our meeting place. He is the path to the true heavenly sanctuary, and His sacrifice purifies us from all sin, even the ones the old system had no answer for.
This incredible promise from Jeremiah shows us what the goal was all along. The new covenant doesn't just put a band-aid on sin, it offers total, complete forgiveness and wipes the slate clean. It's a radical, internal restoration of the heart that the old shadows were always pointing towards.
So we have a people in a covenant, and we have a purified place to meet. But you still couldn't just walk in on your own. This brings us to the third pillar, the mediator. You see, access to God has never been a do-it-yourself project. It has always required a divinely appointed guide. In the old system, on the left, you had the Levitical priesthood. They were the bridge, but they were temporary, part of a family line. But on the right, you see Christ, our perfect high priest. He isn't a priest because of His family tree. He's a priest because of His indestructible life, His resurrection from the dead. He is eternal, He is sinless, and He is completely, totally effective. And this just brilliantly illustrates the security we have now. Christ's work for us isn't just something that happened in the past. It's a continuous, present-tense reality. Right now, as we speak, He is interceding for us in the true sanctuary. I mean, what an incredible thought. So how do these three pillars, the covenant, the place, and the priest, all come together? Well, they aren't sequential steps you take, like 1, then 2, then 3. Nope. They are three interlocking components of a single unified foundation. You take one away and the whole platform collapses. And you can see exactly how it works. The covenant, the sacred place, and the priesthood. They're distinct, for sure, but they are totally inseparable. They merge together to form one solid, stable platform that all true worship is built upon. Let's put it even more simply. The covenant defines the terrain. It tells you who belongs in this space. The sacred place defines the conditions. It establishes what that holy environment has to be like. And the priesthood, or mediator, defines the access. It provides the only safe guide to get there. Each one has a critical job to do.
So, why does all of this matter so much? Because this new platform in Christ solves every single limitation of the old system. It purifies not just a building, but our actual conscience. It forgives sins that were previously unforgivable. And, crucially, it throws the doors wide open, removing all those ethnic barriers and including all people, replacing that endless cycle of animal sacrifice with one perfect, final offering. And this brings us right back to where we started. Because this foundation, the new covenant, Christ as our sacred place, and Christ as our eternal high priest, is now perfectly and eternally secure. This stairway to God is truly and completely open for everyone.
So if there's one thing to walk away with, it's this. The Old Testament structure was not a mistake. It wasn't a failure. It was a beautiful, deliberate, perfect lesson plan. Every pillar, every sacrifice, every single ritual was a shadow, a signpost, pointing forward to the day when the reality would finally arrive. And that reality is Christ. He's the one who brings the shadow to life.
So, in Him, the covenant is sealed, the holy place is open, and our high priest is seated at God's right hand. The foundation has been laid, it is solid, it is sure. The only question left is for you. The platform is firm. Are you ready to climb?